Yeah. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Happy Word Motivation Monday. Here. I'm here with the Motivation Monday fan. We got Kimba Savvy. She's gonna
So,
introduce topic number two
all
or
right. So,
three.
so topic number 2 for the day is how much are you willing to sacrifice for your significant other?
Suzette,
Go
you
ahead.
can speak.
I feel like is there such things as sacrifice for your partner? But like how much? I don't know. How much do I want to sacrifice? It all depends how long we've been together and how much the person and how well the person treat me and how well the relationship is. I'm willing to sacrifice almost almost everything, but not everything.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's really, I mean, you really have to make the sacrifice to live life with a partner. So, yeah, whatever
Um,
it takes.
Yeah, go ahead, Jada.
I agree what she said. Time, distance, if you're for me, I'm for you. It doesn't take that long, pretty much, for me to figure out. Sometimes it can be a little tricky, but I feel like people I know for years, you know what I'm saying, kind of switch up. So it's like it's a little tricky with that question. But yeah, if you for me, it's like I testify him. I do that. I'm silly, but
Yeah.
you know, like, yeah, one of those, Yes, I'm done.
Yeah, yeah, I like those answers as well. I think for me, it depends on the woman. But if I'm just gonna keep this as a, if what we're saying is if I'm gonna consider like I'm in a good relationship, so I'm gonna
Okay.
answer it based off that. All right.
Mhm.
So if I'm in a healthy relationship, there really probably isn't anything that I wouldn't sacrifice. My main thing is as long as it's not to my own self detriment, where the sacrifice now brings about um too much bad for me, because I wouldn't want someone to do that for me either. Like, don't sacrifice where it puts you in a really bad, like, don't cut off your right leg,
Mm.
because, I just happen to have a bad Tuesday. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't, just maybe make me a meal. I'm having a bad Tuesday. Why'd you cut off your right leg? So don't do nothing stupid. But I think sacrifice is important. I think it's a love language of its own. That's how you let people know that they matter, that you're willing to actually put yourself in some level of inconvenience in order to make them happy. I think that speaks volumes. So if you're not willing to sacrifice, I don't know if the person's really ready for a relationship. But so yeah, so for me, I would sacrifice pretty much anything as long as, if she's really the one, shit. Like if we got a whole thing going, we're like 50, 60 years in, damn, I might even sacrifice my whole life. That's that true love thing. We die together. We've been doing this together. We die together. But, you know, just in general, I think sacrifices should come as long as it's in the betterment of you and your partner, not to the detriment.
That's nice. I like that. I like how you worded that. Suzette, your hand is up again. Did you want to say something?
I changed my mind.
Okay.
I don't think we should sacrifice to be in a relationship. It should mutually come to an understanding how we should we do things to make sure our partner is okay and we would want the same in return because sacrifice seems very dramatic, but I think uh, I don't think being in a relationship you should be sacrificing anything if you are building and creating and wants to be with that person. What is there to sacrifice if you choose to be with someone where you trust to be here? So whatever it takes, you should be able to do it naturally. I think. I don't know. That's my understanding.
Okay. Go ahead.
Shay, you want to go next?
Yeah, I was definitely gonna say something similar to that, and I'm not even trying to purposely be different. I could be speaking from the single standpoint, I could be speaking from an only child standpoint. I could be speaking from a Taurus standpoint, but I do feel like, the longer you are single, the more you are engulfed in doing things you want to do. And it could be harder for you to make sacrifices. Because what am I sacrificing now? Everything I get to do is for me. Obviously, I do things for my son. I do things for my family. I do things for my job. Sacrifice much for anyone. I want to date someone and know that we are just meshing naturally. You don't have to lose anything. You don't have to lose a part of yourself to be with me, because I wouldn't even feel right. Like, say, I dated a musician and I made him feel insecure because I'm so jealous that I don't want him to go on tour. I'm not selfish in that way. I would want to The sacrifice I would make is, do I want to ride on tour with my man, or do I want to stay with my job? But I wouldn't want my man to sacrifice and stop doing what he loves no more than I would want to stop doing what I love. It would be a challenge, and a good challenge, trying to balance doing what we both love. I don't want anybody to sacrifice. There are some sacrifices. If I fell in love with someone in a different state and I'm having a long distance relationship, there's a lot I have to sacrifice. But I'm really big on making things work for the both of us, or not making it work at all. Because I don't want you to be unhappy. I don't want you to be unhappy on my accord and have you telling me daily how, you could be doing this, but you're here with me. I want you to live your dreams with me, and I want to live my dreams with you, and I want us both to live happily. And I do know that reality hits where there's a lot of couples that have to make sacrifices. I haven't really approached that. You know what I mean? I haven't had to make that sacrifice, but my hope and wish is that I meet someone who we don't have to sacrifice. We doing ourselves with each other, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pierre, my brother Pierre, you got something to say?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm not really big on the term sacrifice. I prefer to use the term compromise in regards to the situation.
Mhm.
Where both of us are, I think in just in any relationship, you just have to like you guys are trying to meet the middle ground in regards to your goals. And so therefore, when we use the term sacrifice, to me, that makes me feel like someone has to lose. And I don't
Mm.
want that. And so therefore, in a relationship, I'd rather that both individuals are compromising, because that's how it's going to work. No two individuals are going to be the same, or like are going to like the same things, or want to do the same thing. So therefore, someone is going to need to compromise, and you're willing to do that because you love that person. So yes, I'm willing to compromise for the person who I'm with. In regards to sacrificing, yeah, I don't know. Like if you're looking for me to go to jail for you, nah, partner,
No.
I'm good.
Hell no.
I got
You can go
I
to
got a
jail
question.
yourself.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
got no, that's real. I got a question for you, Pierre, real quick, just to shed some light on your answer. I like how you said that when you hear the word sacrifice, you kind of think of losing something. That
Mhm.
I feel you on that, and you prefer the word compromise. So my question is, just to word it a little different,
Mm.
do you feel that it's important or necessary, or do you think that it would be beneficial or okay to lose, maybe I'll use it in a number aspect, to lose two if you're going to gain seven? Like if your sacrifice meant that you lost two of something, but you know that based off that sacrifice or compromise, as you put it, that you're going to gain seven, but you're going to take a loss, but you know you're going to get more out. Would you still do it though, or you don't want to lose at all?
The answer is yes,
Um,
because that's compromising.
Well, I was asking Pierre based off what he said. Hi,
Mm.
Mara. Welcome,
Mara.
welcome aboard. Um, Pierre, I don't know if you wanted to touch on that or if
no,
you wanted
yeah,
to just
no,
leave
yeah.
it
Let
alone.
me let me think about
He's
that.
calculating.
Mhm. You want us to come back? You want us to come back to you while you think on it, or give you a second?
I believe it depends on the situation. Like I don't to lose two things that even though I know gain. I feel like that's someone who's like an opportunist, like who's looking. To be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know. Yes, okay. Logically,
hmm
it
hmm
makes sense.
Yeah.
But
Emotionally,
realistically,
realistically, how if you based on your feelings or whatever, I don't want to lose anything just so that I can. And to be honest with you, I don't believe you. I mean, I know your example is that you're gonna gain 7,
Mm.
but
how do you know for a fact? And what are you
I just
losing to gain?
I don't
Yo, the
believe. Yeah, like
overthinking here is crazy.
He don't want to lose anything, okay?
Say that again.
Me
He don't
watching
want to
you
lose
overthink
anything.
and almost overload overthinking this right now is crazy.
I'm hold
LA.
on, hold on. No.
You're battling right now, like you're like, yo, I don't want to lose these 2, but if I lose these 2, I can get 7. But what if I get those 7 and I don't like those 7 though?
7
Like,
what?
That's
You know
that's
what
That's what I
I'm
that's
saying?
said.
Money?
no,
7
no,
what?
he doesn't
Family?
know. Like,
We
It's
talking.
it's not really about the number. I made it a number just to put some substance into it. Because in
nah, I was
relationship
gonna.
you
My
you
answer's
can't
kind of on the
quantify it.
lines of kind of like what you were asking him, Diggs. You know what I'm saying? So I was gonna say
Okay.
pretty much say like as a creative, I don't look at sacrifice the same way as most people do. You know what I'm saying? I kind of have more of a, I guess you could say, a love-driven mentality, not really a
hmm
fear-driven mentality. So when I hear sacrifice, I think of taking something to create something new. In order for
Yeah.
me to have something created new, I have to make space for that new. Even if I want to, like, I take some clay and I make a sculpture. You know what I'm saying? I gotta change that from something to something else. So
Mhm.
but you need to
I don't
sacrifice
know if it's
everything
gonna
though.
look that good. That process is kind of scary, Pierre. But you know what I'm saying? That process is hella scary. I get it. You know what I'm saying? That from 2 to 7. You don't know if you're gonna get a
Can I
good
say
Okay.
2,
something?
I mean
Can
a
I
good
say
7
something,
or
Okay.
not.
Diggs?
You know what I'm saying? So,
Hold on, Shay. Hold on.
yeah, go ahead. No, she can chime in. She can chime in real quick. I'm more open table. Everybody know me. So if I
Yeah.
answer and somebody feels like saying something, I don't mind. You can just, you know.
Go ahead. All right. Go
It
ahead,
could
Shay. You
just
want to say something?
it could just be an assumption, but I feel like in relationships, men don't have to sacrifice a lot. I feel like
Mm.
men have to sacrifice a lot. I'm very curious what men sacrifice in a relationship. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm very
No,
Curious.
curious.
that's
I
a. I mean,
can answer
that's a
that.
fair answer to ask. You know
I
what I
can
mean?
Yeah.
answer that.
I
Time,
mean, it definitely depends on. I
time,
mean,
time,
it definitely depends on what.
time.
Heavy said he
Oh
wanted to
no,
answer it.
Oh,
I
that's
mean
his answer.
that's
It's
true.
time. Yeah,
No,
that's
no,
I
his
mean,
answer.
no.
it's
Hundred
Time,
it's
yeah,
a
percent.
lot
time.
more than just
Yeah,
that, but I
yeah,
mean, it
yeah.
really
That's number
depends on the
one.
person in their relationship.
Okay.
It really depends on the person in their relationship because you gotta remember each relationship is individually catered to that individuals in those
Right.
relationships. So
Mhm.
Right.
I couldn't just sit here and say, well, we as men sacrifice this because you could have been with a few dudes that didn't sacrifice none of those shits for you. You see what I'm
Mhm.
hmm
saying? So
Mhm.
the reality is are you dating a man or are you dating a boy? Because most
Mhm.
men are man-childs. They're boys. I ain't trying to be fucked up because I know a
I
lot of them.
know what's
I
up.
used to be one. You know what I'm saying? I'm very humble. So I used to be one. You know what I'm saying? All that.
Mhm.
So now I'm not. So I try to tell people like your perspective is really based on your experiences. So if
Mhm.
your
Correct.
experiences are kind of shit, then go out there and go get some good experiences. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't be
Mhm.
Yep.
upset about how other people think and feel, you know? But that's
Right.
just me. You know what I mean? So
Basically, if you've been driving shitty cars all your life and you never bought yourself a brand new car, go buy yourself a
now
brand
if
new
you never
car.
bought yourself a
You
brand
know
new
what I'm
car and you've been
saying?
driving
Get your
shitty cars, then don't
taxes.
get in my car. Now what I'm
Right.
saying is if you've
Right.
been driving shitty cars your whole life and you've never driven a beautiful car, I'm not finna let you sit in mine and drive it. Because the minute you
Yeah.
sit in there and drive it, you're gonna hate me more.
You
Because you
ain't
gotta
gonna
go
know how
back
to
to your
deal with
shitty
it.
car.
Right. I hear
Nah,
you.
don't even get in my car, my nigga. I'd rather you hate me and you haven't been in my car. Because the minute you get in my car, you're gonna hate me more. My shit comfortable. It got fucking warm. Nah, nigga, you gonna hate. Oh, fuck this nigga.
I'm fucking sorry.
You might leave my
Hold
house and
on,
pop
but
my tire. You know what I'm saying? Every morning I'm
Diggs.
wondering why my tire slashed, nigga.
Okay, LA, can you
That's
tell
my
me what
top.
kind of car you got?
Well,
I don't have a
no,
car,
no,
bro.
no,
Oh,
Stop
okay,
playing.
okay.
no.
Who was after that? It was Jada.
Yeah, I just want to add on to my answer. I already went. I answered this. I just want to add on real quick.
Mhm.
just hearing you guys say what you said. So this question made me think outside the box as well from my first answer. I feel as though, because I heard a lot of people say, well, not a lot, I heard, I forgot your name with the brain sis, but I heard you say, you know, your time goes towards your children and this and that. That's fine, but your children, they get older. They want to go out, see their own life, and, you know, have their own families and stuff like that. So it's just like, if you're with your significant other and that's whom you choose to be with for the rest of your life, they can eat anything. They can eat a kidney. You know what I'm saying? And say if you're the only person that's there, we can't say that. Sorry, I'm a little nice. We can't say that. We can't say that. Because, like Cuzzo said, what if it's a life situation where you could bring, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't say that. You could save them, and you don't know that. They don't have nobody else. They don't have nobody else. It's just y'all two. That's who it is. You don't know, vice versa. They'll do it for you. There's love like that that still exists out here. Like our
Yeah.
grandparents' love type shit. You understand what I'm saying? That's my type of sacrifice. The other shit, you know, we mentioned everybody. Yes, I respect that. But that's my type of sacrifice. This made me think outside the box. Like, yeah, you never know. Might be my blood type. I might need you.
Hmm.
Vice versa.
Let's go, Dr. Howard. You haven't even spoke on the subject at all, right? Correct?
No, he hasn't.
Let's get through the people that didn't speak at all, and then we can circle back. Thank you.
No doubt.
So what am I willing to sacrifice?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
How much are you willing to sacrifice for your significant other?
well, that's a very good question. I've been through a lot growing up. You know what I mean? I've pretty much been on my own since 12 years old. And what I would sacrifice, I don't think I have anything to really sacrifice. I'm pretty much an addition. You know what I mean? Instead of something to subtract, I'm more adding things instead of subtracting things because I think I've been through enough trial and error. So when I do have a significant other, there's really nothing to sacrifice. There's only just love to give. You know what I'm saying? Respect to give and passionate and affection. You know, um, I honestly don't have nothing to sacrifice to say I'm a sacrifice for you. I mean, I'm very open minded. You know, I'm respectful to my time with her time. With our time, I'm respectful to our time. The only time I probably would have off of our time, which would partially be a part time, which is when I'm working. So, you know, outside of that, she's pretty much 100% on myself with me as I should be 100% with her because I don't do 50-50. I don't want half your ass when I'm eating that whole ass. I don't want to eat half your ass. I want the whole ass. You know what I'm saying? So don't play with me and I'm not gonna move forward. You know what I'm saying? So um sacrificing really wouldn't be anything on my end, you know, honestly, because I don't have really much that I could feel that would be sacrificial.
Okay.
You know? I mean, so it pretty much would be like what Pierre's saying, with compromise.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I'm more of a negotiator than I am someone to like destroy and rebuild. Like there's no need to, you know. So
Okay.
that's
That's a
my
good
answer.
answer, Dr. Howard. Mara, do you have anything to add? I think you're the only person who hasn't said anything on this topic yet. You
Hi
want to chime
guys,
in?
I'm Mara. Sorry that I was late
It's all good.
today. Salute to everyone. I agree with Pierre 100%. I do agree that I don't like the word sacrifice. When I think of the word, I kind of agree with a little bit of what Shay said too, because I kind of jumped into when she was talking and she said something about the word sacrifice makes her feel like she's losing something. I believe that was her who said that. And then Pierre said something about compromising. So that's how I feel about it too. And also my perspective on compromising is just to answer the question that someone had asked Pierre about losing 2 and gaining 7, my answer to that would be yes, I would do that. And I still wouldn't consider it a sacrifice. It still would be considered a compromise to me because in order to compromise with someone, you're going to lose something. You're gonna lose something, you're gonna gain something. That's what compromising is. It's to be something that works for both parties. So you may lose something, but you're also gonna gain something as well. So that's how
Mhm.
I look at compromising, and it sounds better than saying sacrifice.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
Okay. I can dig it. Um, Good. Those are some really good answers. Pierre, did you before we get off this topic, um, you wanted to say something. I think you were going to say something before we let everybody else add their 2 cents to it. Did you want to follow up on that?
Lost my train of thought. Okay, so no, I was just interested to know like what are people are willing to sacrifice in order to gain the 7 items, and what would be those 7 items that you would do that for? Like, what would
Um,
that be?
I'll give you so just to kind of shine some light on why I had normally you're not going to quantify relationships or love. We're not going to put it into a number thing, right? I was just giving an example, but if I was to put it into real time, and I want everybody to really take this, with you when we get off this and ponder on your own relationships. Um, we all have habits that aren't good. I don't care who you are. Nobody's gonna sit here and tell me they don't have a bad habit. You're lying. We all have some type of bad habit that makes us feel good that we do on our own. It's not something that's probably good. Maybe it could be a food thing. Maybe you like eating sweets. You know damn well it's not good for your teeth. Maybe you like cussing. You know damn well it's not respectful. But this is something that you particularly like, whatever it is, right? Now you meet somebody and they tell you, they make you aware that this isn't really good. They don't particularly like this thing. And you know it's not a good thing, but you like it. Your partner doesn't like it, but it gives you some sense of feel good, but it's bad. Would you now sacrifice that thing? You've been doing this thing now, let's say for 7 years. You're accustomed to it. You could do it with your eyes closed. You love it. But this partner who's good to you, good for you, they take good care of you and they want you to stop this thing that you're so used to doing that's not necessarily good. Maybe it's smoking cigarettes. Maybe you have a drinking problem. Are you willing to sacrifice that now for the betterment of the relationship? Or are you going to say, nah, this is me, take it or leave it. This is how I am. Is that what you're going to say? Or are you going to actually work on that compromise, sacrifice, whatever you want to call it? That's the 2 that's going to get you 7. Are you willing to do that? Or are you going to hold on to that 2? That's what I was trying to get everybody to get. It's almost like that 80-20 rule that they talk about. You have 80 at home.
I
It's
see
not
what you're
100. You know what I'm saying? You got a
Bro,
good
it sound
person.
like
I
it
see
sound
what you're
like it
saying,
sound like
Diggs.
the book Who Moves My Cheese,
You know
bro.
what I'm
Literally, no
saying?
cap.
Yeah,
Real
no, it
life.
sounds like I get what you're saying, Diggs. I could see where you're coming from. Like
So
a
it's
take me as I am kind of thing. You're gonna take me as I am or have nothing.
Mm.
yeah, people shouldn't be going into relationships like that. If you
Maybe
go into a relationship saying, just take me as I am, I'm not gonna work on myself, you're about to lose. You're
That's
gonna
true.
lose. You know what I'm saying? You got to go into it knowing that you have to
Hey,
compromise and sacrifice something
hey,
that you're not gonna
listen.
want to.
But does anybody else want to say anything to wrap this
I'll say,
whole
I'll say
topic
something.
subject? Oh,
Yeah.
and Dr. Howard had his hand raised too. You
Okay.
go first, Kim.
So like I feel like I'm pretty young, so I haven't really experienced a lot of life. So when I thought of this question, the first thing that kind of came to my mind was like I would sacrifice my sleep for my significant other. Like I'll be in the dead cold sleep, 11 o'clock, 12 in the morning. If he calls me and he says, babe, I need you to come pick me up, or babe, I'm at the hospital, or whatever it is, like I'm there. I'm going to get up, I'm going to go get him. wherever he is, or him and his friends or something like that. So like I guess I would sacrifice my sleep, and then I sacrifice my time. Like I also will have an independent life. I also have my job, but whenever I do have free time, like, yeah, let's go out, let's go to dinner, let's go get drinks or whatever we're going to do. Like I'm also sacrificing my time. Those aren't like really big things, but it's still something that you're giving up to like benefit you in the long run because this is your person that you want to be with. So those are just some of the things that I thought of right off the bat. Like, I don't know. I guess my limit would be something mental. Like if it's mentally and emotionally, like there will be a limit that I reach that I'm like, I'm not doing this no more. Like you gotta go. Get the fuck out. But yeah, that's just kind of how I thought of the question. I don't know if that really aligns or not, but that's just my opinion on that.
All right.
Okay.
I know Shay had her hands up, but all right. So
Shay too. We'll get to you too, Shay. Don't worry.
um, so pretty much my probably only guilty pleasure would be like my online bullshit. You know what I mean? That would possibly be the only thing I really have to sacrifice is what I'd be bullshitting and doing online with. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
once I have that girl, once I have that my person or however you want to say it, which I hate saying that, but once you have that significant other, my online bullshit is pretty much cut. You know what I mean? I'm even changing my status to I'm in a relationship now, so a lot of stuff is gonna be changed when it comes to my online bullshit. That's pretty much what it is because all I do now is just work. You know what I'm saying? Work, come to the house, cook, eat, get ready for the next day, be online, bullshit. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much what I would be sacrificing. Next person.
I hear that. Straight to the point. Yeah, I like that. So what do we have, Shay?
Mhm.
Shay, go ahead.
Shay?
In response to Shay Diggs, because I had a relationship where somebody said they loved me unconditionally, and then halfway through wanted to tell me what they didn't like and what they wanted to change about me. And I just feel like before the relationship, you know who this person is. So you can't say in a relationship you're demanding these things because when you were dating, know they were doing these things. And when you were talking, you knew they were dating these things. But for me, you know, I'm not, again, just like the sacrifice, you know, it's like you want to shape and mold me to be someone you desire as opposed to just loving me. This is how it's coming. Yes, if you feel like you're smoking, you're drinking, you're swearing, if you feel like your bad habits are bad for you, then you should change. You heard it from your mama, your cousins, you probably heard it already. Your man or your girl's telling you, take heed. They're right. You should stop because it's interfering with this, your relationship, your friendship, your job. If it's not interfering, right, and you enjoy these things, it sometimes it looked upon as someone trying to change you, and you feel like, well, then you should find someone who loves you for you. Again, once upon like the connection, right? Because there's plenty of alcoholics and smokers or whatever doing them and loving their life, whether they foodies and they eating bullshit, sitting on their ass together, they loving it together, right? Or you could find someone who says you should be like this. I mean, it works in different ways. There are women and men who change each other for the better, right? So it's a different dynamic. You have to really be honest with yourself and say, hey, I have a problem. And my man or my girl is telling me I should stop, and they're right. And then then are there situations where someone's trying to change me? There's nothing wrong with what I'm doing. They just don't. They want to make me something I'm not. And it really takes you in that relationship to see what you want to sacrifice. Because there's so many people who say I'm fine the way I am, and I need to find someone who loves me. And there's so many situations where you should change, and your spouse is actually gonna steer you in the right direction. But I'm big on like I'm a smoker, so don't tell me you don't like a smoker because I'm smoking. You know what I'm saying? And there are times where I feel like I should smoke less, but I'm not necessarily trying to change that for anybody. I'm really big on someone who's just cool with me smoking. I've been with non-smokers, I've been with smokers, And I've been with someone who tried to tell me, I don't like that you do this and you should stop. And I wasn't feeling that. I wasn't feeling that amongst many things. I felt like they wanted me to be something I'm not. So find that girl. Instead of trying to make me that girl, find that girl. So it's not stressful upon me and you to keep bumping heads for something that's just not working. And that's just me personally. You know what I mean? It could go both ways.
I can dig it. I can dig it. Mara
Alrighty.
wanted to say something.
Mara, you
No.
quiet over there. I don't know. Maybe
I know
Mara's
you guys are expecting me to be all like, but it's rah rah and stuff, but it's just not that type of conversation today.
Right.
Today is
Yeah.
about sacrifices and stuff like that. It's a different type of
Okay.
conversation
Right.
today.
Oh, Mara.
I'm like, where's the rah 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 rah?
I'm chilling.
Y'all
It's
ready,
not
y'all
that
ready
type
to
of
get turned up?
conversation.
This is time to get turned up now.
Right? It's turn up
Time
time
to turn up.
now.
It's 11 o'clock. It's about to be
Well, let's
Tuesday.
wrap up. Let's
It's
wrap
about to
up
be
that
turn up
last
Tuesday.
question real quick
Yep.
before we turn up. We turn up well. So, but let's just wrap that up real quick. Am I saying your name wrong? Is it Mara? Is it Mara or Mora?
It's Mara.
Mara. Okay.
Yeah.
It's Mara.
Mara. Right. Gotta put the rah in there. So you wanted to drop your 2 cents on it, or you want to leave it alone?
I'm gonna leave it alone.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna just add one last concluding remark based off what everybody said. Just something to think about when you're at home when we talk about sacrificing. I always tell folks, because I'm big on relationships. I've been working hard at trying to be a better partner for the future for myself for like the past 4 years. So when it comes to sacrifices, one thing I want everybody to remember is you got to know the difference between your wants and your needs. So really the bottom line is, are you willing to sacrifice your wants for your partner's needs? I think that's what we all have to try to think about. Because a lot of people, I want Skittles, I want my M&Ms, I want my fucking Douce, you know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
my partner might be a recovering alcoholic and they don't need liquor around them. I can't, you know what I'm saying? What does my partner need? Am I going to put my wants over their needs? So that's really what the sacrifice boils down to. Are your wants more important than your partner's needs? And if they are, eesh, you really might want to reflect on that. So, that's it for us today, right? Topic wise, or we have what's the next thing we doing? Open
That's
forum?
Can I
dope.
say one thing?
Suzette, was that
And I
Suzette?
also want people to know that being in a relationship, you also have to being able to accept yourself in your partner and understand how you guys work
Right.
to actually build on that instead of just dating, just not knowing who you're really dating. You're just dating someone, but don't really know who the person is.
Mhm.
That's
So
true.
like I think you need to know yourself. Like that's where like Heavy was saying, self-healing. And then after that you accept yourself, because we do things that don't make yourself happy, or you do things that makes you happy. So you have to actually celebrate each time when things like that happen. I know it was bad, but what you did to become who you are and grow as you are right now will build you for your relationship partner that you need.
Indeed.
Yes, indeed. I do want to say this to y'all. Diggs, I like how you wrapped that up. It was dope. No Diddy. You feel me? But I like how you did conclude
Huge.
everything. Also, I just want to challenge everybody to understand this, since we talked about a lot of stuff already. Just take time, like I said, to heal, self-reflect, make
Yep.
improvements. But understand this, like some of us do that stuff, but we avoid the fact of not knowing what our weaknesses are, or will we continue to make mistakes. So I challenge everybody to self-reflect on yourself after today and find your weakness, even if you don't feel like you got one. What's your lefts? like find out what that is and work on that, on the weakness or whatever's not as strong for you. And however long it takes, but identify that and strengthen that up. And once you strengthen that up, it'll make a completely overall better situation for your future and whatever you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
you got to identify that weakness. And other than that, Dr. Howard, you want to say something before we go on into the segments and then the open
Yeah.
table?
No, I
Glad
want
you
to say,
mentioned that.
I want to say something real quick. I want to be a devil's advocate. I would like to say that I think they should focus on your strengths. Focus on your strengths and then let that overcome those weaknesses. I don't think that you have to, like in life, if you just dwelling on weaknesses and trying to improve, sometimes it's just not going to happen. So I just feel like sometimes if you could just focus on your strengths and perhaps finding someone else who already has the strengths that where you're weak, you're good. I don't think you have to worry about your weaknesses.
I
Yes,
disagree.
I
I
agree.
disagree. I disagree. The reason why I disagree with you is because as being a mature person, it is
Mm-hmm.
good to recognize your weaknesses and try to, just improve yourself however you can. You feel me? So say like I got an arm, right? Like for instance, I play football. I always, played sports and shit. Was in the weight room when I was younger, heavy and all that. My biceps was always weak, bench press weak, but my deadlift squat game, my triceps is crazy strong. You know what I'm saying? So when I work out, I usually work out my strengths. I don't really fuck with the weaknesses, but when I'm around my boys, they be like, yo, nah, let's bench press, let's do the curls, bicep shit. And I don't avoid that shit because I know that I really need to do that. You feel me? So if you do avoid your weaknesses, then you're being ignorant to the situation or how you can improve to be a better person to deal with other people, whether it's relationship, businessship, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? But I understand
Yeah.
you, Pierre, on that. I'm not saying that,
No,
Facts,
no, no.
facts.
I get. I know.
One
I was
one
devil's
intentionally.
advocate. Yeah.
one should
Yes.
identify their weaknesses and not strengthen their weaknesses, but use their weaknesses to their advantage so nobody else can use them to your disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you need to use
Yeah.
both.
What I would
Avoid.
say, to that is you would use your strengths to overcome those weaknesses. Like if so, no
Right.
matter what, like let's say, I can't think of a good example right now, but I'm pretty sure everyone has some weakness that they have currently right now, but they have a strength within themselves where they're able to overcome those weaknesses. So therefore, focus on those strengths, like making those stronger so that the weakness has no impact.
All right,
Yeah,
that's a
but
good
just
thing.
imagine teaching that to a younger person, right?
You could teach
And
them.
they haven't yet identified, they're not our age, so they haven't identified their weaknesses yet. You know what I'm saying? They
Mm-hmm.
only know their strength.
Right.
So if they don't know their weaknesses, I'm about to beat them every time. I'm gonna master you. You see what I'm saying? Because I see your weaknesses. You don't know them.
Boom.
So I would suggest that he find out his weaknesses. Not saying avoid your strength. Never avoid the strength. We're not saying to play one against the other. No, you're strengthening overall yourself. The point of this whole thing is to master self. Become the master of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
yes.
Just to
once you
add
do that, go ahead.
to what LA, I love what you said. I was gonna say that actually. I think a
And
lot of
Diggs,
people.
I'm not interrupting you, but after you pass it to Mara next, because she raised her hand.
My bad, Mara. I just want to say a lot. I think I share the same sentiment as LA. I think a lot of people, and I'm gonna speak for myself. I didn't know. I thought I knew what my weaknesses were. Like I think a lot of people think they know what their weaknesses are, and they think they know what they can change. But in actual reality, you can't change that. Like this is who you are. You just have to accept it and learn how to manage it. And it's knowing who you are. So a lot of people don't know who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm somebody who's very caring, I'm very nurturing. You know, I fall hard, I fall easily for women. So that's never gonna change. I just had to make better decisions who I'm falling for. Like I can't just be so quick to just fall. You know what I'm saying? Because that's never gonna change. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I gotta toughen up. I can't be falling for these chicks, these hoes. You know, that's not gonna change. So I just had to manage that better. So I think a lot of us need to just do a better job managing the things that we call weaknesses.
And what
oh, it was just my, you wanted,
yeah, go ahead, you go.
okay. So I don't completely disagree with you, but I have a different perspective. And my perspective on that is just, in order to master your weaknesses, I think you do have to first master your strengths. Because what makes you think, like LA said, I know your weakness, so every time you come around, I'm going to use that against you. So, what makes you think that while you're over here trying to focus on your weakness, that the person that knows your weakness isn't getting stronger by the day? So, wouldn't you want to focus on your strengths as well? So, the next time this person comes around, you already know that they know your weakness. You already know. So now you're stronger, you're more aware, you're more attentive, you know what's going to happen. Therefore, now you could beat this person and you've just overcome your weakness.
Okay.
You don't have to just live, you don't have to just settle for accept that, oh, okay, this is me and this is what I'm gonna do. You can actually work on yourself, because that's what we're trying to do, right? As human beings, be better person, be better people,
Every day.
become better selves.
Mm-hmm. That's the goal.
Well,
So why not?
Well, the whole purpose of this, y'all know, is like we're encouraging y'all to just improve and make yourself a better person overall, well-rounded. So mostly where we're coming at is just challenging y'all that way. And anyone answering whatever how you feel, they're not wrong about it. Even Pierre playing devil's advocate, that's nothing wrong with that.
No right or wrong answers.
There's no right
Yeah,
or
no
wrong
wrong
answers, but
answers.
once we done with the formalities, then you know what I'm saying, then I'm gonna start challenging. I'm sorry, I be pressing people's buttons, so I'm just chilling
Open
right now because
food for thought, second by LA.
this week for food for thought, I've been working on a book, so a daily devotion. So I'm gonna read y'all day 5 from the book. The quote is it's a quote I wrote, but find yourself, you must lose the idea of who you are. And I have a letter to the reader. Dear reader, today allow yourself to let go of preconceived notions and labels that may confine you. In the pursuit of self-discovery, sometimes it is essential to strip away the entities that no longer embrace the process of shedding the old, creating space for the new. Trust that within this vulnerability lies the opportunity for true transformation and a deeper understanding of your authentic self. With openness, your cosmic God. That was the quote. The quote is, to find yourself, you must first lose the idea of who you are.
I just want to ask a question. Lose something in what aspect? Just so we could try to get the conversation going.
Losing yourself. So it's just, there's parts of yourself that, you got to change, like we all been talking about. You do something for yourself to better yourself, not necessarily for others, but you have to lose that part of yourself in order to gain a new part of yourself, with the old and with the new.
Mhm.
You have to make space for the things that you want so that you can have those things. That's all.
So I would say, I guess I would say yes, or I don't know if this is a yes or a no question. I guess just maybe
Well, I mean, it's just your thoughts. It's your thoughts on it.
yeah, I feel like in a life way, thinking about it in like in a life aspect, in order to gain something in life, you might have to get rid of something old in order to get something new, maybe like bad habit. Maybe you have a really bad habit smoking cigarettes. You have a really bad habit of chewing tobacco. And in order to get this new life, this life that you want, because the life that you're doing now is leading you towards cancer, you know, you probably gonna have throat cancer, won't be able to talk or something like that. That's the life you're going towards. But in this new life, if you quit, you know, you won't be in it, have addicted to that. Maybe you'll have children, who, whatever, who knows what will happen now that you're not focused on that. You'll have more money in your pocket to spend things on what you want because you're not spending it on that anymore. I don't know if that helps anybody, but that's how I would look at that.
No, that's a good answer. I mean, there's no wrong answer. It's just we're just giving your feelings, your thoughts on it. You know what I'm saying?
That's deep. That's a deep one right there. But that's how I would look at it, like a bad habit, something like that. In order to get this hot summer body, and you know you're at home eating chips and donuts and stuff like that. In order to do that, you got to get rid of that. You gotta, you gotta stop eating donuts and get in the gym. Grab a banana, eat some fruit, eat something healthy. That's the good life. That's that new life. You got to get rid of
There's a
those
saying.
old
There's a
habits in
saying you
order to
gotta get
get.
rid of the old you in order to make way for the new you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I wanted to
Exactly.
say is like also acceptance. You should accept your old self and able to change it and forgive and forgiveness. Forgive yourself for what you have done to cause yourself pain and learn not to do it again.
Mhm.
Nah,
Mhm.
for real, that recognition thing, like we talked about earlier, and self-identifying where you may have went wrong, made wrong decisions. It all matters, and you know, I
Some
think we
people
all can agree to how important that is. To identify with that stuff. So,
like
Nah,
taking
facts. And then
accountability.
elaborating. Yeah. Yeah. Go
yep,
ahead. Go ahead.
No, all I said was like taking accountability.
yeah,
Okay.
and that goes back. Accountability goes in with maturity as well, right? So if you're not mature, you don't grow. You know, and you don't recognize
Yeah,
what you've been doing wrong,
that's a fact.
then you can't make the proper correction. If you don't make the proper correction, then you can't, transform or improve yourself for the future. So that's definitely key. LA, did you want to say something? Because I thought I looked like
I
you
was
was
just
about to
gonna say,
talk.
I was just gonna say real quick, speaking more on what Suzette was saying, like you do gotta forgiving yourself is a process of healing your shadow self. That's the dark you most people running from. The person they don't want to acknowledge who they are, that the ugly sides of themselves. That well, I don't want to be this person, or you know what I'm saying? So in order for you to what I mean by let the old you die is not to kill the old you. It's kind of like put it to rest. It's tired. You know what I'm saying? You became something new, so that energy is old and needs to recharge. You know what I'm saying? So let it go lay down. Let your new you take over and handle this new time. You feel me? That's kind of essentially what I mean. The old you is your shadow self. It's the dark you. You know what I mean? The you
Okay.
most of us run from. I don't know what that means to everybody else. I know what that means to myself. You know what I'm saying? But whatever that means to y'all, you know what I'm saying? Happy travels.
So, so remember, we got Pierre had his hands up next.
Sure. So I just want to go back to LA's quote, and piggyback on Mara's example in regards to, you have to like basically go to the gym, eat bananas, stuff like that. But do you really have to? Like, do you really like Mara in regards to Mara's example? I could just take Ozempic and still be going to like eat some fried chicken and whatever stuff like that. You see people still. I'm just saying, like, do you really guys shit? Do you need to do all that? I'm just saying, just keep it at 100. You see all these people taking Ozempic, and then next thing you know, they're losing weight, and it's still at Chili's eating, baby back ribs. So
All I got
therefore,
to say is, all I got to say
We
is in
were
the
so
talking about
commercial,
that last
10 years
week,
from now,
remember?
have you taken Ozempic?
so
That's how you gonna hear in them commercials.
No. Because in that way, it would be different. In that aspect, it's not you giving up a old life for a new life, or for losing yourself to
That's
get a new
that's
you.
you coming up.
Because Ozempic makes you sick.
Yeah, so you're
People
just
don't know
covering it
that's
up.
the thing that you don't know about Ozempic. Ozempic got them people bulimic. Okay, them people out here not malnourished. They ain't eating right.
Yo, that
Okay.
Joe looking.
Okay, I'm
Yo.
dead serious. Ozempic got these people out here sick. So was that
Nah, that's a
really
fact.
something? You didn't gain anything. I mean, yeah, you're skinny, but now what? You're sick. You can't eat anything. Every time you can eat, you eat a pea and you're throwing up. I heard this from a podcast. I'm not gonna name drop the podcast on here, but yeah, somebody vouched for this themselves, and it was a celebrity on their
That's
own
good.
podcast
Hmm.
with
Yep.
millions of viewers. So like, that's not you gain. That's not you losing yourself to gain. You lost and took another loss. So now, how are you gonna overcome that? That's the real question.
No doubt.
What sacrifices are you gonna have to take? That goes back to the sacrifices part. What sacrifices are you really gonna have to make so that you can like bounce back?
Mara, we got Jay.
I was just saying back to LA's quote from earlier. So I was just gonna say like something different, like well similar but something different. So like me and him talked about this before, So like in life, in order to win, like what he was saying, letting go of the past to and bring in something for something new to come in.
LA,
It's
can
like
you repeat what you said?
No, I'm saying I'm not done yet. So
Oh.
what I'm saying is like in order, I believe in the same. I also believe in that in order to win in life, and have new beginnings, you have to know what it is to lose. You have to, so you have to lose to win. You know what I'm saying? Because if you win without losing, you'll never appreciate what winning in life actually means and what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yes, like new beginnings in life is very important, but but the pain comes with the good. The pain comes with the good in order to go from losing to winning. And yes, we have to lose. Sometimes we lose people. Sometimes we lose in a competition. Sometimes we lose in someone we were with in a relationship. But then we gain the world with the loss that we took. You know what I'm saying? But you can't understand that unless you've lost before. So you have to lose. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a bad thing to lose because that's how what's right, what's good from bad. And where you're at in life. So yeah, I was just gonna say that I like LA's quote and I agree with it.
All right, bye guys.
Have a good
Bye.
night.
I'm gonna go too,
Good night.
guys. I'm getting tired and it's getting
No
late.
problem. No
Okay,
problem.
Mara, same